On Monday, the Nebraska Public Service Commission approved a route for the controversial Keystone XL Pipeline through Nebraska. Activists gathered outside the Commission's hearing room in Lincoln to discuss their next moves.
I want to thank everybody for fighting so hard. I first want to explain the decision because it could be confusing. So anything other than TransCanada getting their preferred route was a huge victory for pipeline fighters today. There is no question that there are still landowners and the pipeline route still crosses the Ponca Trail of Tears. And so there is the same entry point that we are still fighting. We will make sure that none of that route ever gets approved.
That's right.
That's it. We all, as activists, have to know so we can make sure that we're educating all the rest of the grassroots. This decision today throws the entire project into a huge legal question mark because the Public Service Commission did not review that alternative route. Those landowners on the alternative route were not part of the process. And so while I deeply appreciate the fact that that TransCanada did not get their preferred route, it also opens up a huge victory for us in order to fight this now at the federal level. Yeah! We'll have to go back to the State Department. The pipeline route that is now on the table for the state of Nebraska has never been reviewed by the feds. And so this will now have to go back to the State Department. We will make sure that we are joining lawsuits with all of the national environmental groups in order to protect the landowners and the Native American sovereign rights that are still impacted by this decision. We are not going to turn our backs on the landowners that are still on that route. And so it was a very mixed emotion in that room. Half of the landowners in the room are no longer on the route, and the other half are still on the route. And so we have to do everything we can in order to make sure that this pipeline never gets built. And there is a couple things that we can do. This is now a very deep political issue. Frank Landis and Tim Schramm, two of the commissioners who voted for this route, are up for re-election in 2018. Yes. There are two people here today that are running against Frank Landis. And we want to make sure that it's not a 3-2 vote against the pipeline fighters. We want to make sure that that is a 3-2 vote in favor of the pipeline fighters.
Obviously, today's a little bittersweet. We're not happy in either way. This pipeline doesn't need to be here. And as a member, our tribe, as a member of the Treaty Alliance of Tribes, that represents over 150 different tribal nations in Canada and across this country. We're going to stand together and continue to fight this pipeline up and down its route. You know, we're almost a year ago, water protectors were in Standing Rock, being shot with water cannons, being gassed. Unarmed people were being attacked by these people, by TransCanada and their minions. And here, almost a year to a day later, we have a 200,000 gallon spill along the first route. And yeah, 200,000 is what's reported. We know it's going to be bigger than that. That's what can happen right here. Land that my people died being removed from this land. Land that my people were willing to die to come back to. That's what we're still here fighting. And we're still here fighting with all of our other tribal relatives. With all of our relatives that have land today along this route, those farmers. We know what it's like. We're going to stand with them and protect them so that their land isn't illegally taken away from them. So our land isn't desecrated more by this oil. Thank you. We'll continue to fight.
Yeah.